What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about two separate things. Everything is going to be organized on the timeline down below. So if you do want to skip to a certain part, like just go straight to the whole defensive talk and how Barcelona want to reinforce their defense, you guys can do so in the timeline down below. Everything will be organized. Do not worry. I got you guys. But before we even talk about the defense, I do want to speak about Barcelona's rejuvenation in the attack and talk about who Barcelona have just signed in terms of the left wing position, because Barcelona have just signed Jesse Bisiwu. And the fact that Barcelona have yet again signed a brand new attacker, yet again another attacker after Anthony Gordon, after Adeyemi, now we're starting to feel this shift on where Barcelona is going. It's part of the reason why we're talking about the defense in this video, right? Because Deco, Flick, Laporta, they all know what to do next after they rebuild their attack, because that is what they're doing. They are rebuilding their attack. And I have also heard some crazy stories about how Barcelona might let go of Rafinha to Saudi Arabia. We're not going to discuss that in this video, but all in all, though, the fact that we have already let go of Lewandowski, the fact that Ferran Torres might go to PSG, which is like an 80% chance, and then potentially, maybe, Rafinha might consider a move away from Barcelona and to go to Saudi. Like, bro, like, what is going on? We might actually lose 3 players in one summer, and especially in the attack. Like, no wonder Barcelona is trying to sign as many attackers as possible. But it does scare me a little bit, because I do not want to believe for any second that Rafinha is leaving us this summer. I still think that he has 2 or 3 good seasons. I'm going to stop there because now I'm going to make this a Rafinha video. We're not going to do that, right? We're going to talk about what Barcelona is doing overall. So, like I said, everything's organized on the timeline down below. Welcome, guys. I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys are watching me for the first time, my name is Kevin Cortez. I am a huge Barcelona fan and hope that you are too. And if you are, please like this video if you do end up finding value, of course, and also subscribe to the channel so you don't have to miss a single update in regards to the world of FC Barcelona, right? So there's a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. Let's get straight to it. So Barcelona are rebuilding their attack. They have already signed Anthony Gordon. He is somebody who brings the elite pressing. He's very vertical, he's aggressive, and we also signed Karim Adeyemi as well from Borussia Dortmund for 22 million euros, which is a world-class, right? Like a world-class operation, because in a world where we're starting to see like many clubs buy certain players for like around the ranges of 65 to 75 to 80 million euros, like Tonali was worth more than 50 million euros or something crazy like that. Like, we live in a world right now in football where transfer fees are very high, and the fact that Deco had a masterclass with the Adeyemi operation by only spending 22 million euros, masterclass, man. That is a masterclass. It's amazing. So we signed Karim Adeyemi, we signed Anthony Gordon, and now we have signed Jesse Bisiwu, a Belgian left winger, somebody who is only 18 years old. And I'm going to give you guys the updates because there is a total agreement that has been reached by both clubs. Everything is fine. Yes, there was some tensions before because Barcelona couldn't find a good agreement with Jesse Bisiwu's club, and then they got the first offer. The first offer was rejected. Then they came with a second offer, and that second offer has been accepted. And so Barcelona were willing to commit 10 million euros for Jesse Bisiwu, and he's 18 years old, very young, a left winger. And the fact that they're willing to bet so highly on somebody like Jesse Bisiwu and spend 10 million euros, right? Usually when Barcelona believe that they have a youngster, right, in their on the table, and they're saying, okay, this guy could be it. Maybe, we don't know. We're going to try him with Barca Athletic. Maybe he might go into the first team. So usually when they think that way, they only spend about 2 to 3 million euros. But no, with Jesse Bisiwu, this is a gamble, and they're willing to make a big gamble, which means that they probably do see something very special in Jesse Bisiwu. They do think that Jesse Bisiwu could be somebody like a Doku type of player who has an extra touch in the attack, who can actually finish. No shade towards Doku, by the way, but most likely, highly likely, that Deco sees something special in Jesse Bisiwu, because I have never seen Barcelona commit so many funds for somebody who might not even be good in the first place. Like, it may not even work out at Barca Athletic, and that is going to be the roadmap with Jesse Bisiwu, right? Because look, Barcelona see the explosive acceleration, the elite 1v1 dribbling, the left wing creativity, a high attacking potential with the player, but they're still going to put him with Barca Athletic. Not full time. He is going to be alternating between the first team and Barca B or Barca Athletic, whatever you want to call him, right? It's a very I would just say similar situation to what Hamza Abdel Karim is doing as well. We have seen Barcelona do that with Gavi, sometimes with Araujo. Back in 2019, Barcelona do that with all of their youngsters. Sometimes they alternate with Barca Athletic and with the first team. And then eventually when you show like true ambition to succeed in the first team and you're showing results, then you get the first team recognition and you get promoted full time. The same thing is going to go on with Jesse Bisiwu. So I don't think that there's nothing to be like worried about. Like why would they spend 10 million euros and then alternate him between Barca Athletic and the first team? It's very normal. Barcelona do that with all of their players. But the only thing that really is missing now at this point is, like I've said, Anthony Gordon, Adeyemi, Jesse Bisiwu, who will be alternating. The only thing that really is missing now is Julián Álvarez, and there's a good reason why. Is because he is the most expensive. He is the main priority. Atletico Madrid are playing hard to get at, and so that is it, right? But we're very close. We're like 90% complete on finishing this rebuild in the attack. Now, let's step away from this because now we have another very important conversation to talk about, and we have to talk about Barcelona now turning their attention towards the defense. According to Ben Ayad, who is a very reliable source for FC Barcelona, he has claimed that Deco and Hansi Flick are now focusing on strengthening their defensive line, which is some crazy news because in my personal opinion, I thought that Barcelona were not going to try and strengthen the defensive line. I thought that with the renewal of Andreas Christensen, with Araujo continuing, with João Martin and Eric Garcia upping their level alongside with Pau Cubarsí, that they're going to be okay. But Barcelona do have different plans. Barcelona believe that they have the resources to further invest in the defense even after investing in the attack. It's crazy to me. But the report continues to say that Barcelona enjoyed one of Europe's strongest defenses statistically last season, but the coaching staff still sees room for improvement. So Barcelona is not done. And the biggest concern that they have here is the depth. They understand that they have a great, strong starting 11, but they want to have different alternatives. So for the summer of 2026 alone, Barcelona have done very little defensively. The only real major defensive operation that is nearing completion is João Cancelo. He's going to go on a permanent move to Barcelona for a 2-year deal, and coming from Al Hilal, it's expected that Barcelona will pay a total package of only 10 million euros. But that's basically it. Beyond Cancelo, there has been no elite defensive signing that has been completed, but this is where Flick and Deco want to go. And let's remember, Barcelona still have a lot of confidence in players like João Martin and Eric Garcia because both offer tactical versatility within Flick's system. However, they do want to find another very specific profile, which is a left-footed left center back who can elevate the squad, because the objective is to improve the defensive depth, the competition, the long-term stability as well. This is proof, guys, that Barcelona have improved their finances. Like the fact that Barcelona can go onto the attack, rejuvenate it, make it better, and then go onto the defense, it's proof that Barcelona have done the correct works. We're in the 1-1 rule, and that is why Barcelona is looking at a very long list to reinforce the defense today. And we're going to be talking about that list, and here are going to be the options. Alessandro Bastoni is being considered, even though he's not as high as he used to be. He was previously one of Barcelona's main targets, but as of right now, it's very cold. Nothing really exists. No negotiations have gone on. It's been said that there was a personal agreement between Bastoni and Barcelona. Bastoni was okay with it, but Barcelona, for some reason, they have moved forward and they went somewhere else. I do think the main reason why Barcelona stopped all the negotiations with Bastoni is because they went on to improve the attack. That is where they believe they needed the most help on. But Bastoni is still on the table. The other player Barcelona is considering, it is Cristian Romero from Tottenham. He is a 28-year-old Argentinian center back where his expected fee could be around 60 to 80 million euros. Barcelona are considering him because of his aggressive ball-winning mentality, his elite level in duels as well, and the fact that he has strong leadership and a strong mentality. Barcelona value that. Another player Barcelona is looking at is Micky van de Ven from Tottenham, who is a 25-year-old Netherlands center back where his expected fee could be around 80 to 100 million euros. It is up there in terms of the price tag. I don't know how much Barcelona are willing to commit and how much they're willing to invest to improve their defense, but clearly he is one of the best and fastest center backs in world football. He will be perfect for a high defensive line as well because he has excellent recovery pace and very strong carrying ability to move the ball forward. I would say, just from a sporting view, that Micky van de Ven would be the preferred option to reinforce the defensive line. But then comes my second option that I would like to see, and that is Castello Castello Lukeba from RB Leipzig. He's only 23 years old. He's very young. He's also from France, and I don't know if you guys have seen the French national team, but the future is in France. Everybody's just so good in that team, and the fact that we can get a portion of this French super team, I would really like to get Lukeba. Lukeba is a left-footed center back as well. However, RB Leipzig is very hard to negotiate with. They like to sell their players for a big amount, kind of like how they even rejected 100 million euros for Diomande, but it is expected for RB Leipzig to ask for around 80 to 90 million euros. That is going to be the valuation. That is a lot of money. Like I have said, is Barcelona ready to commit this amount of money for a left center back when you already have a lot of options? But his strengths here is very clear. He has explosive recovery speed as well. He's an aggressive defender, excellent in 1v1 defending, and very comfortable in possession. And then lastly, we have Luka Vuskovic, a player that we have discussed before on this channel, the youngest one out of all options. He's only 19, from Croatia. He's a center back ready to up his level. However, the only real threat here is that it's highly likely he could be moving to Brighton, and it does seem like he is committed to go there for some reason. I don't know why. No disrespect to Brighton, but I thought that Vuskovic was ready to like really up his level and go to a super team like Bayern, Madrid, City, Arsenal, Barcelona, or any other team. But his strengths here is he has a huge aerial presence. He's very strong when it comes to the set pieces, offensively and defensively, and very calm on the ball. His long-term potential is massive here. So I would say, and this is going to be my conclusion, who best fits Hansi Flick's system is going to look something like this. Micky van de Ven would be my preferred option because of his elite pace for a high line. If we cannot sign that player, I would go for Bastoni because he is a world-class distributor. But if we can't get Bastoni, I would go for Castello Lukeba, who is young, he's very athletic, has a huge upside. We can build with Lukeba and Pau Cubarsí. And then I placed Cristian Romero in 4th with Vuskovic in 5th place. But let me know in the comment sections down below, who would you sign out of these 5 players to reinforce the defense? And if you don't like any of these 5 players and you don't find them ideal, then who would you sign? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.